Ashley Pearson Khan from Muslimi, and I'm sitting down with Moses the comic. Hopefully he's gonna give us some laughs.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. I'm excited to be here.
Tell me some convert jokes if you want.
Okay, because you are a convert.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, I have a joke about new Muslims where I say, you know, new Muslims, they still think halal is like a sauce or a seasoning. You know, because I was in a store with a new shahada and he was ordering in front of me. He was like, let me get the halal. He was like, let me get the chicken with the halal. Let me get the lamb. Put a little extra halal on that. But you know the difference.
I wonder what that halal,
what halal is.
Tastes like.
You know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spicy?
It's a little spicy, you know, but it's okay.
Yeah. Eating halal where I come from is very difficult. But
is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Bismillah 13 times. That might do absolutely nothing. I don't know why. I read that on a Snapple bottle cap. Yeah.
So, you're known as a comedian.
I am.
How did you get started? How did you know you're like, this is what I'm going to do?
Well, I'm the baby of 6 children, so that's already like hand-me-downs was just everything, you know.
Yeah.
But no, my journey in comedy started as a double dare at a birthday party. That my only surprise party that I ever had in my entire life was my 25th birthday. And at this thing, it was a karaoke pajama jam, if you will. And we were on there. You like that little pajama jam? And yeah, it was like a double dare. You know, at the end of the night, there was actually another Muslim sister there, hijabi, who was way ahead of her time. She was telling me she's going to an open mic at a world famous comedy club called the Laugh House in Philadelphia. Kevin Hart got his start there, John Witherspoon, so many people. And my thing was, if this Muslim sister is getting up on stage, and she double dared me that night to come with her. And we put a routine together, like, you know, 3 to 5 minutes, and we went, and I had the bug ever since. And things just like really snowballed after that. I started subsequently touring with Kevin Hart and Steve Harvey, different people. But 12 years later.
Wow.
12 years later, yeah.
Yeah, and you have a lot of other things going on as well, right?
Yeah,
Talk a little bit about
so I teach as well. I'm very passionate about Black Muslim history. I was always very just wondering like how Islam was introduced to Black people and how Islam came over on the transatlantic slave trade and the history. This class is teaching about the history and the contribution of the Black Muslim to the landscape of Islam. You know, it's important that we use that word as well. And so we go the history of Islam coming to America, but in all assets from film, entertainment, from the ilhans to comedy as well. So I'm passionate about that. We have a store in the mall, the only Islamic department store in the major US mall, the Ummah Shop. Shout out to the Ummah Shop. And what the Ummah Shop is pretty much like a one-stop shop for Muslim-owned brands and businesses. 100% every single item that we have in the store is from a Muslim-owned brand and business. And I would say maybe 60 to 70% of our vendors are from Muslim women. And so, you know, from the mom and pop businesses all the way up to the nominals and the halt hijabs. And so it's important, again, that we have that representation of Muslims. We're also the owner of, I own the brand Unapologetically Muslim, trademark brand. So the whole concept around being unapologetically Muslim is not having to apologize or make concession for what you believe in. So we push that brand. So yeah, we got a lot of irons in the fire.
Yeah, sounds like it. Yeah, I was very intrigued when I saw a professor as one of your titles.
Come on, come on.
How often do you teach?
Twice a week. Yeah, so it's in the summer sessions right now. But the class, and you know what's so dynamic about this class is that Haverford University is probably 2% minority. So majority of the children, the kids in my class, they come from all. I actually call my class the United Nations because it's like a melting pot of all different races, ethnicities. So for them to want to take a class about Islam and Black Islam. But the class was dynamic as well because a component of the class was them producing and curating their first stand-up performances and a production. And so we put together, I'm one of 4 right now in the industry for African-American international Muslim comedians. So in the Muslim market, there's 4 Black comics doing it at this level. So I have the godfather of Muslim comedy, Preacher Moss, Omar Regan, shout out to Omar Regan, Hollywood's finest, Azim Muhammad, which he was one of the original comics on The Law Made Me Funny, and myself. And so we've never all been together on one stage. So my students at Haverford curated and produced the first Muslim Kings of Comedy show, sold out in Philadelphia, off the chain. It was amazing. I was there, I know. But it was fantastic. And then after that, they actually did workshops throughout the semester with comics and writers. And then they wrote and produced and performed their first stand-up performances. So it was just dynamic just to be a part of that process and what that might do for them.
MashaAllah, that's amazing. So who in your life has inspired you throughout your career?
Inspired me throughout my career. I am inspired. That is a great question. I rarely get asked that question. I do a lot of interviews. I just want to let you know you're throwing some curveballs. Okay. who has inspired me
I
the
want you to
most?
remember this interview.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell a quick story because when I first started the comedy, I went to my father. My father passed away about 10, 12 years ago, and he actually passed away maybe about a week before my first time on stage. And when I went to him and told him that I was going to be calling myself Moses the Comic, my birth name is Musa Suleiman. And I went to him, I'm like, I'm going to start doing comedy at B, and, I'm going to call myself Moses the Comic. He got mad. He was like, I don't want you to call yourself that. I said, why? He said, because it's blasphemous. The prophet's name is Musa, and you calling yourself Moses the Comic. I said, well, you named me Musa. It means Moses. Has my whole life been one big blaspheme? And he looked me in the face and said, yes, it has been. Unfortunately, it has been. So that was like my motivator. But he told me that night that his advice was to never compromise my integrity for success. And his line that he used to always say to us is, innovation is rewarded, but execution is worshipped. Innovation is rewarded, but execution is worship. And he would say that it's not enough to be creative, because innovation is creativity. He said it's not enough to be creative. Execution is the only thing that separates those who are successful from those that could have been successful.
Yes.
Is because they did the work. So those particular themes in my life have always been something that I'm passionate about, is doing the work, being innovative, but not just creating, also executing and doing the work. So my father was a big influence in just my character, right? Because people are impressed by talent, but God is impressed by character. So I think character is like at the core of anything that we're doing foundationally, whether that's in the community, whether that's on stage, whether that's in the classroom, is that we want to do it with integrity and have good character.
That's amazing. It's an awesome story.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad
So yeah, my father inspires me. Comedy-wise, I think every generation, I think it's great that we have different people in every generation just to have inspired people. Like, in the 60s, you had like Flip Wilson. In the 70s, you had Richard Pryor. The 80s, Eddie Murphy. I'm a child. I was born in the 80s, but I was brought up in the 90s. So Martin Lawrence was my biggest inspiration. I wasn't supposed to be there, but in 1994, my older brother took me to see his first stand-up special, which was You So Crazy. I don't recommend, I'm just saying, the Haram police is out there. Y'all gotta screen this before you go watch it. But it just transformed everything for me. That was my first time seeing somebody on stage, seeing someone captivate an audience with laughter. Because comedy really is the perfect conversation, because a part of it is also using comedy I try to use my comedy to subvert the stereotype of Islamophobia and racism and bigotry. Because comedy is the perfect conversation to have the perfect vehicle to have uncomfortable conversations. And so me seeing Martin being able to use comedy in a way where he was captivating and still giving a message out, which was dawah. So I was seeing it from a Muslim perspective. And I just got the bug, man. And so Martin Lawrence is somebody that hugely inspired me. I've never met him or anything, but he's just, I think a great comic.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And it seems like, you've accomplished so much. So where do you go from here?
Where do I go from here? After this is definitely going to be to get something to drink, because these lights is crazy right now. I can't believe
It's very warm in here.
I feel like a piece of rotisserie chicken. I'm gonna just let you know.
Yeah,
I thought, is this sponsored by KFC? I don't know what's going on.
I've been cooking for a few hours.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
And you got a little tan going on now, and I can tell the light's been coming down on you. I'm about
to sunburn.
I'm gonna start calling you Jamila. That's a nice name for you. You honorary black in the black community
I need
now.
a stage name.
Did you? Okay. Queen Jamila. I think we take this thing on the road.
This is how stage names are created.
Listen, somebody and honorarily, you need a black person to invite you to the barbecue. You ever heard this term?
Yes.
I'm inviting you to the barbecue. Now, don't put no raisins in your potato salad. I'm gonna let you know if you come with that.
Yeah.
You're not gonna do that, right?
I know, and you gotta have some flavor. Okay.
Salt and pepper. Okay. No, but from
more
here.
than that, right?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I think from here is really just continuing to create. The store is doing very well. And in Philadelphia, we have over 350,000 Muslims in the city. And they actually call Philly Little Mecca, because the Muslims are so integrated into the fabric of the city. Yeah, exactly. And it's the city of brotherly love, obviously. So, we hope the goal for the Ummah Shop is to have one in every U.S. mall, that we have representation for black, not just black, but for Muslim-owned brands and businesses, to have representation on that level. Also, one of my goals from here is to utilize my platform. We're trying to create entertainment to tell our own stories. Our stories have been told for us in the media, our Muslim stories as well. But, so we're trying to use our platforms, our media platforms. We're working on a project right now for Netflix, inshallah, that it comes to fruition. But telling our stories from, my story, of course, from the black Muslim perspective, but just the Muslim perspective. That we're just living everyday life and have families, and we travel and we pray. So, inshallah, I'm coming to a screen near you. Okay, so you know.
I'll be looking out.
Please do.
for that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll share it.
Thank you. Because we got to spread love. It's the Muslim way.
I love it.
And this is one of my designs that we sell in the Ummah shop as well. Do you know where this term come from? Now, you'll really get your honorary black card if you have any idea. And I'm going to help you out. There's a famous hip hop artist, maybe one of the famous hip hop artists, okay, that had a famous line. His line was, spread love, it's the Brooklyn way. The Notorious B.I.G.
Okay.
So this is a play on his famous line, spread love, it's the Brooklyn way. So spread love, it's the Muslim way is just, and Van Jones was he's a reporter. He did a fabulous piece where he talked about the best neighbor that you can have is a Muslim. And a Muslim neighbor because of the love and the respect and the care that they have, the character of a Muslim, right? Going back to that thing about character. So spreading love is the Muslim way, and being unapologetically Muslim is trying to, you know, show people that these are the tenets and the characters of Muslims. So when I go places and I wear this shirt, it's also giving dawah, you know, and our super Muslim shirts just empower the youth to be proud of who they are, you know, to go out and not be ashamed or have trepidation about being Muslim and being proud of it. So.
Jamila.
Queen Jamila. I'm just saying, I really feel like that's
I'm changing my Instagram.
the whole thing.
Right?
You got to start from scratch, rebrand the whole 9 yards, take you on stage, Queen Jamila.
Yeah, it's happening.
Okay.
I'll come on stage with you. We'll do a bit.
Thank you.
I mean, I think I'm funny, so.
QJ for short. That's for real short. Some people gonna call you QJ. You like that?
Yes.
Not DJ, but QJ.
Yes.
That's patent
I love
pending,
it.
by the
It's
way.
happening.
That's patent
Okay.
pending. Okay. This was
You
fun.
heard it here first.
Heard it here first. Come on.
Right here.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you want the audience to know?
Man, I want the audience to know to please keep supporting live Muslim entertainment. And even this festival, you know what I mean? Being here this weekend was fabulous, you know, and being able to see the transition of, and I was talking to a lot of the youth about the seeds that we plant, you know,
Yes.
this whole concept of like reap, sow, harvest. You plant these seeds, you water these seeds, because you have to do the work as well. So it's like tie your camel, but you also have to, and the famous story from that, I tell that in my class to my students as well, of the hadith about, you know, when the Prophet ﷺ was walking and he's with his companion, and the companion asked him, you know, well, should he tie the camel? Should he put his trust in Allah that the camel will still be there, or should he tie the camel, right? And he's like, you know, you still tie the camel. Put your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but you still tie the camel.
I'm like,
And
you
so,
gotta meet God halfway.
Come on,
I
you
always
can't-
tell
God
people,
can't
it's
do
like
it
when you're
all.
a kid and you're like haven't studied for a test, and you're like,
come on.
Allah, please help me. Like, He's not gonna help you if you didn't study.
That's actually a great t-shirt line, because I think in content
Meet God
now,
halfway.
and meet God halfway. I might have to go ahead, we
then
can bust that down. I'm
QJ
gonna give you 40%
said it.
of it, because you kind of conceptualized
We
it.
have that on camera somewhere.
Okay, I'm gonna give you 40%. I'm gonna go ahead and take the 60 because I'm probably gonna do all the work.
Yeah, I'm happy
but
with
me got halfway. QJ and MTC. You peep what I just
This is
did?
it.
Just do
This
the whole
is
thing.
it.
Okay,
That's
I'm gonna
on-
go ahead and
that's on
sign you to a
camera?
deal as well. We're gonna do that deal.
This is
I'm gonna
binding
manage you.
contract.
That's 70-30.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you the 30 just because you're a Muslim sister and I know, you know,
okay,
they like.
30.
But I'm gonna go ahead and take the 70 on that too. But you got that 70 and that 40 coming. So that's like 110. I don't know where my math is, but
All right. If you don't hold true to this, I'm gonna send you
I'm a
this video
Muslim.
clip, okay?
Spread love is the Muslim way.
Okay.
Okay. QJ, MTC.
I appreciate you so much
Thank you
taking
so
the
much
time
for
to sit
having
down
me.
with me.
I appreciate
Hope to
you.
see you again.
Thank you. I hope to be seen again. Thank you.
This is my favorite interview.